The Wynn, $600, 250K guaranteed, day 1B. Apparently I've been bluffing too much, so we're gonna stick to value hands more, some disciplined folds, and some over bets when we got it. We'll make it look like we're bluffing and we'll get paid off the most. That's the game plan. Let's stay with a positive mental attitude. Bag and tag, come back on Sunday, take this baby down. Over $50,000 for first. That would sure help the bankroll challenge. Let's get it. With blinds at 100, 200, 100 ante, we're under the gun +2 with ace, queen, offsuit, make it 600. Under the gun +3 makes it 1,700. Second time he 3-bet us, we're putting in the call. Again, some tighter opponents I'd fold, but not this guy. The flop comes queen, 6, 6, spade, spade, club. We check, he thinks about it and checks. At this point, I'm putting him on a hand like pocket nines through pocket jacks, maybe ace king. The turn is the 4 of spades. We do not have a spade. So we bet 1,800, he calls. The river is an offsuit deuce, so we think top should be good here. We put in a bet of 3,500, and he calls. We proudly display our top, and he shows pocket aces.
This song is dedicated to all the happy people. All the happy people.
With blinds at 100, 200, 100 big blind ante. Middle position raises, cutoff calls, 600. We call 600 with pocket nines. The big blind calls. The flop comes 10, 5, 4, 2 clubs. Big blind leads out for 1,500. 2 folds, action is to us. What does he got? Does he got a 10? Does he got a flush draw? Mid pair, trying to find out where he's at. What's the best play here? Hell if I know. We're going to give him credit for a 10 and make the fold. With blinds at 100, 200, 100. There's 2 limpers. We're in the cutoff with king, queen offsuit, so we make it 900. The big blind calls and the limpers fold. The flop comes king, king, 6, 2 spades. Big blind checks. We put in a small bet with our trips, 700 chips. He attacks our alleged weakness and check raises to 1,900. What's he repping? Pocket sixes? Ace king? Oh, we're not folding. We put in the call. The turn is the 10 of spades, not the best card for us. If he was check raising with a flush draw, he got there. He bets 2,600. We have approximately 12,000 in our stack, and we put in the call. The river is the jack of spades, putting 4 spades on the board. Now his king jack beats us, his king 10 beats us, pocket 10s beat us, any spade beats us. He looks disgusted and checks. Do we turn our trips into a bluff? We have the boat blockers, a very highly advanced play. But we're not going to get too tricky here. If he was just stone cold bluffing, we just got him beat and we can just check back and go to showdown. Doubt he has ace king without the ace of spades. So we check back and he shows pocket 7s with the 7 of spades. I'm visibly shaken. He scoops the pot. Table has a little laugh, a little bit of astonishment. And I have about 9,000 chips now.
Who have real nice lives.
With blinds at 100, 200, 100. Under the gun makes it 600. Under the gun +1 makes it 1,200. Action folds to us, and we have pocket aces in the small blind. 8,500 chips about. Can we flat? Should we shove? Or put in just a small 3-bet? 4-bet. Cold 4-bet it is. 3,200 to go. Both players call the 3,200. I have about 6,000 behind. Flop comes Queen 6-6. One of them might have pocket queens. There's 2 spades on the board, but we're going to set it up for a small flop bet to induce and jam most turns. So we bet a minuscule 1,500. Original raiser folds, 3-better calls. The turn is the ace of spades, putting a flush out there. We don't want to scare him off, and we can definitely still shove the river if he checks back, so we check, and he quickly checks. So I'm not putting him on a flush. Maybe he's got something like king, queen, pocket jacks. The river is a brick, and we only have one play. We're all in for 4,200. Blaze it. He quickly calls. We show aces. He tries to muck, but you can't muck at showdown in an all-in situation, and the dealer shows pocket kings. Cooler. Could have got it all in pre. I don't know what he's doing, but we got the double up to 20,000 chips.
I feel like I'm walking a tightrope without a circus net. Popping Percocet.
With blinds at 100, 200, 100. Under the gun limps, we're on the button with ace king offsuit, so we raise it up to 1,000, a little bigger than normal, because this guy is likely to gamble. As is the big blind. As predicted, the big blind calls and the limper calls. The flop comes king 9-3, rainbow. Big blind leads out 1,600, limper calls 1,600. Are we just going to put him on pocket 3s or pocket 9s, maybe king 9? Are we beat? So if we're not folding, we can call or we can raise. I think I got the best hand. I want to put some bluffs in my range. Instead of calling, I can raise to 5,500. That's what we do. Big blind shoves all in for 11,000, and original limper folds. We can't fold now. We got top. We call, and he shows pocket 10s. Let's hold. The turn is the 8 of clubs, and the river is the 7 of hearts. And we hold. We now have 35,000 chips. A hell of a comeback when we were down to about 8,000 less than a half hour ago. We're on first break. The beach club is open. It's about 70 degrees in Las Vegas. Let's keep the party going.
A lot of people ask me, am I afraid of death? Hell yeah, I'm afraid of death. I don't want to die yet. A lot of people think that I worship the devil, that I do all types of retarded shit. Look, I can't change the way I think, and I can't change the way I am. But if I offended you, good.
With blinds at 400, 800, 800, action folds to the button. He has 28,000 chips, and he makes it 2,600 to go. We're in the small blind with 65,000 chips and pocket 9s. We 3-bet to 8,500. The big blind folds. The button goes all in. Just over 3x our 3-bet. We weren't bluffing, so we got to go with it. Pocket 9s. He shows pocket kings. The flop comes 8-5 deuce. The turn is a deuce, and the river is a queen. We now have 30,000 chips on dinner break. Let's play some 1, 2, 5 pot limit Omaha.
I'm zoning off of one joint, stopping a limo, hopped in the window, shopping a demo at gunpoint. A lyricist without a clue. What year is this?
With blinds at 1,000, 2,000, 2,000. Action folds to us in the small blind. We have 36,000, an ace 10 offsuit. I think all options are on the table against this opponent. He's been very aggressive. I think it's best to go for the limp jam. We limp, he makes it 7,000, and we make it 36,000. He shrugs and flicks in the call. He shows ace 5 of spades. The flop comes 10, 9, 3. The turn is a queen. The river is a deuce. Double up, sitting on 70,000. Last break of the night, 2 hours before we bag and tag.
Took my car and park and approach a tender. Young girl by the name of Brenda, and I pretend to befriend her. Sit down beside her like a spider. Hi there, girl, you might have heard of me before. See her, you're the kind of girl that I
With blinds at 1,500, 3,000, 3,000. Big blind ante, we have 22,000 chips, and we're in the big blind, so 6K is in the middle. Middle position raises to 7,500. We look down at ace jack of diamonds in the big blind. We could jam, but we're bringing it back to 2003 with a little stop and go. We put in the call. The flop comes king 6, 3. We shove for 10,000. He tank calls with ace 10 offsuit. The turn is a queen, and the river's an 8. We double up to 47,000 or so.
You can try to scream louder. No need for no gunpowder. That only takes all the fun out of murdering. I'd rather go bin. Now you see just how to.
With blinds at 1,500, 3,000, 3,000. Under the gun +1 raises to 8,000. We're under the gun +2 with pocket kings. We shove all in for 46,000. Action folds to him, and he puts in the call. He shows pocket queens. The board is all bricks, and we now have 100,000 chips at 4,000 big blind.
When will they learn? Where do they go? God only knows. Stay wide awake. So dark and so cold, my friends don't know this other side of me. There's a monster inside of me. It's quite ugly, and it frightens me.
Same thing with you guys. How are you? Pass them out. Alright guys, real quick, we're going to try to talk over the noise. Everyone gets a bag and a white and yellow copy. The only information I want is your name and your chip count. Name and chip count on both the bag and the paper. Done with that, bag up the chips, seal them up. With the white copy in the bag, the yellow copy goes home with you. The restart is Sunday at 12 o'clock. This is very important. The time change is Saturday night. We go forward an hour, so don't be late. Think of it as 11 o'clock, but it'll really be noon.
There's no pretension, it's friendship. Me name is assuming it's the same for him. It's just me. You see the limits, just images of the shit. It's no gimmicks. It's blood in and blood out. When it's deep, you just gotta know when the blood in and blood out.
We have bagged and tagged the Wynn $600 250K Wynn Poker Classic event, 107,000 in the bag, coming back to 2,500, 5,000, 5,000, about 2 tables away from the money. Stay tuned for part 2. Sign up on raiseYourEdge.com. Deposit on ACR. I'm out.